Hello, welcome back to Sarah's Stitch. I am Sarah. I am 27 years old and I live in Hoboken, New Jersey, which is right across the Hudson River from New York City, and this is a knitting podcast. So it's been a few weeks since my last podcast. I was on vacation in California with my family for about a week, and my cousins brought their kids, and the kids were sick because they're all in school. So now I'm a little sick, so apologies in advance if I'm a little sniffly or sound gross, but I'll try and edit out any sneezing, coughing attacks that I have. That I wanted to film this before Thanksgiving week because I'm going to be away, and just timing wise, this was the best time to do it. So sorry in advance for my voice. But so wanted to get into what I've been working on the last few days, or weeks, it's been weeks, which is not much. The MCAL kind of tired me out a little bit, you could say. It's also very difficult to knit with kids. So my cousins have 4 kids, 2 and 2. The 2 oldest for both sides of the family are 5 and just turned 6 while we were away. And then the 2 youngers are 3 years old. So they're all the same age. They all have a lot of energy, which is a lot when you're not used to being around kids all the time. And then of course all of the cousins and everything, we were going out at night and stuff. So not a ton of time for knitting, especially with pools and everything. The kids needed to be watched. So had to keep an eye on the pool and my knitting. So I didn't get as much done as I was expecting, but I also just kind of wanted to relax and not have pressure on me. And now of course I'm putting pressure on myself to finish people's gifts before the holidays. So also I have 2 drinks with me right now. I have a Madison Ball from Starbucks, and I think it's one of the holiday drinks, the caramel latte. Caramel brulee latte, something like that. But so alternating tea, coffee. So I hope you have something good to drink while you're watching this. So I will get into, I don't think I have any finished objects. So I will just talk about my whips and acquisitions for today. So I'll start with what I'm wearing, which this is the Terrazzo Neck by Petite. And I knit this last year out of Sorella's worsted. And I believe the color is Chateau from the fall tonals. It's either Chateau or Matterhorn from the winter tonals. I think it's Chateau. But this is it. I kind of wish it was I made it a little bit longer. That's on me. I think you start at the back. The back length is fine. I just wish the front, it doesn't quite meet my like high-waisted jean line, and that's where I wish it had hit. But it's cozy, I like it. I probably could block it out a little bit longer and get the length that I want, but perfect for today. I think it's 34 degrees outside right now, and it is very windy, so it feels very cold. I think that's right around 0 degrees Celsius for any Celsius users. So it's our first really, really cold, windy day of the year. You might even be able to hear the wind right now. But at least we're not in Buffalo where they have over 6 feet of snow from this weekend. Gotta be happy about that. So, works in progress. I will start with, I guess, the oldest and go to the most recent. So the oldest is Ryan's sweater. This is the Zipper Sweater Man by Petite. Let's see if we can get this all in. Let's see. And it is this really pretty fall olivey green. The yarn is Sorella Bulky, and the color is Shakespeare's Garden. It's from the Mayflower collection, and so I have both sleeves done. I finished the second sleeve this week, and I've got 4 inches on the body, maybe, or 4 inches from the zip bit. think it needs to go to 60 centimeters total from the back of the collar. But I've just been measuring against one of Ryan's quarter zips that he already owns and wears a lot. It's not a sweater, but he likes the fit of that, so I'm just making it based off of the fit of that. So I need to actually measure the back length and make sure I don't go too much longer than what that is. I think a little bit longer would be fine because it's a sweater, not like athletic material. But I think 60 centimeters would be too long for him. He's got not a short torso, but a shorter torso than that. So like 60 centimeters might be a bit long. So that is that. And then the only other whip that I think you've seen, which is technically a hoe, is these socks. These are focused, yeah. My Homespun House August socks. These are, it's the color Fallify is the main body. It's gonna focus. And then Galileo is the cuff and toe. And I use like Loganberry for the heel. So these were my first attempt at the 1.75 millimeter needles, and I liked them. I like the fabric it made. I did these 64 stitches because that's what I normally do for my size, and it's a bit tight, which is concerning. I also made them too short, so I think these are gonna be a gift, but they're about a size and a half too small for my foot because I finished them on the plane out to California and I didn't have anything to measure it with, and I said, that looks good. Toe, and not quite, which is fine. I have someone I can give them to, but so even with the rib, because I did do a 3x1 rib on these, I don't know if you can see it with the texture or with the speckle, it's still a little tight to get on. So I did start another set of socks on the 1.75 millimeter needles, which are these ones, which I think I showed the yarns last time. These are also Homespun House. It is from her Christmas collection, and the main color, all of the main colors are the same. It is Jubilation, and then the pink is Comfort. And I'm doing the color palette socks. I can't remember the designer, but it's a free pattern on Ravelry, I believe. But so I'm doing the color palette socks. I'm doing them 72 stitches just to see if that fits my foot better, because these aren't, there is a little bit of ribbing every, I think I was doing 15 rounds, but they're not ribbed all the way down. So I'm gonna finish these off and see if these are a better circumference fit for my foot than the 64s. I might just need to go somewhere in between with like 68 or something like that, but the fabric on the 1.75 is significantly better, in my opinion, than what I was knitting on the 2.00 millimeters. I mentioned this a few episodes ago, but my gauge seems to have gotten significantly looser, especially on like sock needles in the last few months. So all the socks I've made recently, either for myself or for others, which most of my friends and my mom and my sister, we all have the same size feet, so I could try them on before I give them to them and not really have to worry about them not fitting me. They all feel extremely loose compared to my not old socks, but the socks I've made before. So I think I'm liking the 1.75 millimeters. The only downside is I feel like every time I use double point needles for the toe, I'm like bending them to death, and I'm gonna go through the DPNs so quickly. So I need to figure that part out. But so these are my other socks. Hopefully, I'm hoping to finish these soon, since they're my first Christmas yarn without being too Christmassy. I have a lot of other Christmas yarns, a lot from Molly especially, that are more like red and green, traditional Christmas colored, that I'd like to work on if I can before Advent knitting starts. Okay, I'm cutting that part out. Where was I? Oh, I have a few more socks that I would like to work on before Advent knitting starts, which I have thought about. I don't know if I'm gonna do my Prosper Advent knit in December or not. So it arrived. I don't know if I said that. It arrived like a few weeks ago. It's currently sitting in my car because I had nowhere to put it in my apartment. It's in a pretty big box and I didn't really want to unpack it all the way, or I would absolutely be cheating and looking at it early. So it's sitting in my car, but I'm leaving for Switzerland on December 13th. And I don't think I've found a pattern yet that I am desperate and dying to make with the Advent that will use up all of the yarn. Because if I leave the 13th, I'm going to have to bring, what's that, like 11 extra minis with me if I keep up with it. And then I will be bringing back whatever, maybe half of the skeins or something like that back from Switzerland with me, because I don't think any of the patterns I've found use all of the mini skein. And I did the habitation throw last year. It's right there. And then I just didn't knit that until I used up all of the yarn, and that was a homespun house Advent last year. But I kind of wanted to make a shawl this year, and I don't think I found a pattern that has a way to use up almost all of the yarn. I know there's like a few of those Amba O'Brien wraps and shawls that I could, in theory, use a lot more yarn of. I also have 200 grams of like the 25th day skein, so I think I'm gonna do like day 1 in between, day 2 color in between, whatever, all the way through it. But so I might just leave that here and either open up them all before I leave, or open them up until I leave and then open up the rest when I get back, and I will work on it in between Christmas and New Year's before I start working again, because I am going down to my parents' house after I get back from Switzerland to watch the cat, because the cat is the favorite person. My parents are staying a little bit longer, so they need someone to watch their favorite child while they're away still. So, coffee break, tea break. Okay, so next thing I started, so while I was in California, all of the littles, as we affectionately call them, the cousins' kids, it's still unclear what they call me, because maybe someone has in our family, but I've not figured out what exactly they are. So my cousin's kids, I think second cousins, maybe, I don't know. But so my sister lives by my cousins in California, and she goes over there probably once or twice a week to help out and hang out with the kids and hang out with the adults. And my cousin and her husband call my sister, Megan, their emotional support cousin. Instead of an emotional support animal, it's an emotional support cousin. So their kids call Megan cousin Megan, because Megan is my cousin's cousin. And they know that Tommy and I exist because they've met us before, but every time they see us for the first time, they're like, who are you again? And my mom kind of looks like their grandma, my aunt. They look pretty similar. So my mom and my aunt get confused a lot, and my aunt is called Gigi. That's her like grandma name. So they always go over to my mom and they're like, Gigi, and she's like, I'm not Gigi. So we call my mom Gigi 2.0 because she is the younger sister and not Gigi. Well, Gigi to them. But so everyone, it was either like Aunt Sarah, Cousin Sarah. No one really knows what I am. Parents don't know what I am. The littles don't know no one knows what I am. I'm just Sarah, which is fine. But they were all very intrigued with me knitting a sock, and they thought it was taking forever because it was taking a long time. I was there for a week and only got that much done. But so they all put in sock requests, I told them I would make them socks. So I'm starting with the littlest littles to see if I can figure it out. I know 2 of their shoe sizes. I could ask for the other 2 shoe sizes, or I could just guess, and I'm just guessing and hoping it works out. So there's 3 boys, 1 girl. The girl is one of the 3-year-olds. So she loves pink, obviously, because what little girl doesn't? So I've made her pink socks. And I used the Scrappy stripy sock kind of recipe from the Crazy Sock Lady for the stripes. And I did these toe up. I was very proud of myself. I hated it the whole time. Will not be doing it again, regardless of yarn chicken or not. I mean, they're 3-year-old socks, or small in comparison to adult size socks. Like this, just the whole sock is smaller than just the foot of a sock that's smaller than my actual foot size, and it felt like it took forever, even with stripes. So toe up is not for me. But so I used the Curio socks pattern by Andrea Mowry as a kind of jumping off point for stitch count, because I've never made socks this small before. So I wound up doing 44 stitches, and this is a homespun house. I don't know if I said that or not. The bright pink is Barbie. It's gonna focus. Barbie, and then the light pink is Tulle Skirt. And I had both of these in 50-gram skeins that Molly sells. She sells 50 grams of the tonals. So, and then I did 2 row stripes for the little ones with the foot. Here we go. 2 row stripes down here, and then doubled it for the leg. So this is 4s. And I just did a contrasting heel because I wanted to use more yarn and make it more fun. So these are for Emily. And I just have to finish the heel on this one, which maybe I'll do today. I mean, it takes no time at all, but I'm hoping these fit. So I have a backup plan, so they're gonna get all of these for Christmas. But I have a backup plan in case they don't fit. So these are Emily's socks. And then her brother, Michael, who was the one that turned 6 while we were there, he wanted 1 Batman sock and 1 Joker sock. So my plan for that is to do a full black sock, and then duplicate stitch on like the Batman logo for one. And then the other one I'm gonna do, I think, a full purple sock, and then do like a Joker outline face kind of thing, in like green and red, or maybe some white, and hope that works. I might do like heel, toe, cuff, different colors too on both, or like do black as the foot or as the main color, and then yellow as heel, toe, cuff, and then put the Batman logo on, and then for the Joker do like green, purple, red, white. So green for the cuff, red for the heel, white for the toe, just to kind of spice it up a little bit. I don't know how his mom's gonna feel about mismatching socks, but that's what he requested. So, and I guess I'll make, like, maybe I'll do 52 stitches, 56 stitches for him. I think this is definitely too small circumference-wise for him. I was looking between the Tin Cannons Rye Light socks and the Andrea Mowry socks, because I had both of those patterns already, and they have a lot of sizes, especially for kids, just to see what kind of an average average stitch circumference was for kiddos. So this is where I landed. I hope it fits, but I will talk about the backup plan later. So these are the only little socks I've made yet so far, but I'm hoping maybe I'll start the other ones today. It seems like these could have taken me like 2 nights to do, if I put my heart and soul into it. Not really, but like maybe 6 hours a sock. And that includes stopping for Instagram and all that. But I think this one I made literally in a night. Maybe a night and a bit. And then the heel yesterday, I was just like, nope, not gonna work on that. So instead I worked on Ryan's sweater a little bit. I've been doing alternating 1 ball of yarn per project. So I worked on Ryan's sweater for 1 ball of yarn. I worked on my Sunday sweater for a ball of yarn, but it's still on the body. I'm a centimeter away from the ribbing, so nothing really looks like it's changed since the last time I showed it. And then I started my mom's sweater again. And I've just kind of accepted that I'm gonna have to go off pattern for this, because while we were out there, I had her look through Ravelry and see if she liked any other cable sweaters better than this, and she could not find one she liked better. So we're going with the Billie pullover, and it's gonna work, hopefully. So I cast this on a few nights ago, and this is where I'm at. So here we go. So technically, according to the pattern, I think like 10 rows. Okay, sorry, coughing fit. So I think per the pattern, I'm about 10 to 20 rows from splitting, or maybe 10 rows from splitting for the sleeves. And it feels very, not even close to being split for the sleeves length, because the collar's not even on this yet. So I'm gonna just keep putting it on and off of barber cords to try it on. And hopefully it doesn't take forever to figure out how long it goes. So I was looking last night before I fell asleep on Ravelry at other projects people have made, and it seems like everyone has about 5 of these chunky, really, really thick cables before they split, 5 or a bit more. So I might just go to the 5, which is another 16 rows, I think, because they're every 8. You do them every 8 rather than every 4, but I might do that and just get that far down and see if that is an acceptable length. I think it's coming out better than last time I tried. I think this is the 4th attempt. 3rd or 4th attempt at this pattern. I am using 2 yarns. So this is Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the cream colorway, and then there's not much left of this, so I hope it focuses, but this is Sandnes Garn Tin Silk Mohair in the white creamy, I think it's off-white. It's not white. It's definitely a little creamier. So I'm holding them together. I think the pattern only says held, I think it's just Cascade 220, and I got Cascade 220. My mom didn't like how yellow-ish it was. It wasn't super yellowy, but she had seen it compared to this, which is, I would say, like a pretty true cream, and it looked like a little bit more butter creamy. I don't know if that makes sense, but it looked like a little bit butterier, the Cascade, than the Knitting for Olive. So I stuck with the Knitting for Olive, but I don't know why. It's like impossible for me to get gauge on this sweater, so just going rogue on it. But hopefully I'll have it done soon-ish. Ideally I'll have it done before Switzerland, but I don't know if that will happen. I'd like to think it will. I also am not loving the honeycomb cables. They are a bit annoying, so I'm very excited for the sleeve split, because then I will only have to do honeycombs in the back and the front rather than 4 times every 4 rounds. So that is this. So next I will go on to my acquisitions, which I purchased this yarn a while ago. I think in end of August, maybe. It's a lot of yarn. Feel free to judge away. I maybe went a bit overboard, but I couldn't help myself. So this is my Explorer Fibers, or Explorer Knits and Fibers, Ireland 2.0 massive haul. So please hold while I pick all of it up, and then I will go through it in detail. But oh god, okay. This is all of it. Just a bit of yarn. So excuse the crinkling. I'm gonna keep it all in the bags because I don't have anywhere else to store it other than in the bag. So I'm gonna kind of try and go through it as I can. So I got, okay, so we'll start with, does that look okay? Oh, you can see it. Out of the bags it comes. All right. Okay. So first up, Emerald Isle and Irish Goodbye sock set, because I had to. Love a good green. And then a sweater's quantity of Irish Goodbye on tweed sock, which this is the most beautiful Kelly green in the world, and I cannot wait to make a sweater out of it. I'm making the Duomo sweater. I know her Instagram name, I don't know her real name. I'll put it somewhere down there, but I'm gonna do the Dear Duomo sweater, and I think that sweater you can either do, I think the designer did it originally with fingering held double, but then also made a sample with fingering and Sari, or fingering and mohair, doing fingering held double, just because that tweed just, oh, my heart. I will say I did go a bit overboard on this one because I was really upset I missed the first Ireland launch, so I think I got probably double what I would have gotten the first time, but say lovey. Okay, so next we have this patch. We have the cute little postcard, the Irish postcard of the little sheep. So I have, oopsies, Giant's Causeway sock set, which is, the main is Giant's Causeway, and then the mini is Inishmore, which is beautiful, and I really wish I got a sweater's quantity of it now, but look how pretty that is. It'll focus. Oh, yes, who knows, but like, oh, definitely doesn't have a color palette. Okay, and then I got full skeins of Cliffs of Moher, which is gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, incredible. Is it gonna focus? Let's see. I really hope this is focusing, I can't tell. But beautiful. And it's mate with Skellig, which is this really pretty tealy dark blue. That's definitely not focused. Here we go. That might be focused. So these are going to be socks for both me and my best friend. We went to Ireland a few years ago, I think in 2018 over Thanksgiving weekend. And we went to the Cliffs of Moher, so I'm gonna make a socks in these. And this is jeez. Can you tell I've taken a lot of cold medicine? Sorry for the sniffle, it's gross. Cashmere Cavern sock, so 80-10-10 cashmere, merino cashmere nylon. And then same plan. I have Most Beautifuls, which one's first? My Goodness, which is the variegated most beautiful browns in the whole world, and My Guinness, which is this like blacky, purpley, browny, gorgeous. And these are also going to be socks for me and Anna. These were in a sock set. These both were sock sets together, but I wanted to make sure I had enough of the solids to make socks for both of us. So, and then third bag. Okay. I have Woolly on Cashmere DK, which is like the neutrally tanny taupey beige color, and another skein of My Goodness on Cash DK. And this I'm gonna do an alley sweater, so it's by Esnitz. I know her name's Sarah. I don't know what her last name is, but gorgeous. Cannot wait. I guess it should go like that because the color works at the top, but cannot wait for this. I was very torn on color combos for this sweater, and I'm hoping I made the right choice here. We'll see. I think there should be enough contrast in between these two. I think I'm just a little, not concerned, but there's a lot of good like light bits here that I hope it doesn't get washed out in the woolly. But that is this alley sweater. Okay. And then the last bag, I guess. Fold this up. Absolute carnage in this apartment right now. Giving up on that for the time being. Okay, last bag. I have one more sweater plan and one more not sure what to do with it. So, okay. I have Celtic Harp, which is the gorgeous goldy marigold color on both cashmere sock. I keep wanting to say cash sock because that's what Allie calls it, but full name is cashmere cavern sock and Sari. So these are these together. I'm gonna hold them together for a balloon sweater, I think, by Petite knit. I think that was the plan. It's either balloon sweater or a chestnut sweater, and I'm pretty sure I settled on balloon. And this is just the most pretty fall pairing. So I don't know if I'll get to this year, or maybe it'll be a late summer project next year, because I think I need to cast on the alley sweater and the Dear Duomo first because it's self-satisfying. And then the last color I got on Cash Sock is Murphy's Brown Bed. And it is the most beautiful speckled, it's on like a cream base with yellowy, goldy, brown speckles like the ice cream. And I have 3 skeins of this, and I think I'm gonna do just like a basic raglan sweater, I think. So I think in my head, let me do this. So I might do contrast cuffs, neck and hem in Celtic Harp, and the body of a sweater in Murphy's Brown Bread, since they go so well together. But I think that's only if I have extra of the Celtic Harp. So another reason why we have a sweater queue now. But I was thinking maybe like a cozy classic raglan light, because I've not made that pattern before, or something along those lines. I need to take a look at Ravelry or something from like that pom-pom, what's it called? Ready Set Raglan book. But this is just gonna be like a basic, not basic because it's gonna be beautiful, but plain raglan, maybe a drop sleeve, but probably just a raglan sweater. Yeah, so that is all of my EKF acquisitions. I think that's all my acquisitions in general. I ordered yarn for the Batman and Joker socks, so that's put away. It's just, I got Knit Picks, Brava Sport, maybe? That sounds right. I got Sport Weight, but that's what I got for Michael's socks. And then for John and Harry's socks, they weren't, so they're the ones that live in California, so they had to go back to school for a few days because they were driving distance from school and we were there for a week. And they weren't as vocal about what color socks they wanted, or like they didn't have as much time to tell me exactly what kind of socks they wanted. So I think, hold on, I think I have their things down here. Okay, I hope I didn't move too much, but I grabbed the potential yarns for John and Harry. So it's 3 sock sets that I think are pretty boy adjacent. So first I have skein yarn. This is Street Fleet in the match, or the colorway Lightning. So it is like a neon yellow chartreuse with blue and then blacks and blues in the skein. And I think one of them said they wanted black socks, and I'm not making full black socks. I could, I guess, but the next option is the Nordlund and Loganberry sock set from Homespun House. And so both of their parents went to UVA, which are the, what is there? Cavaliers. And their colors are orange and blue. So I was maybe going to do this for both of them, but then it'd be tough to distinguish whose socks were whose, because those are, I know their shoe sizes. John is a size 12 and Harry is a size 11. And those are two very close together sizes. So I feel like I need to do two separate socks, because two separate, completely separate colors, because then they'll be able to tell the difference. And then the last option I have a few other options, but this was the last one I thought of, was Sorella, Flotsam and Jetsam. Sorry, sneezing. Okay. Flotsam and Jetsam by Sorella. And this was from the Ariel collection, I think sometime in 2021. I don't know when. I think it might have been spring 2021. And it's this really pretty, like, tealy blue green, it'll focus, yeah, skein, and then just a teal contrast. So that is the plan for the California boys, is one of these three, no, two of these three. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have anything else that's popping out right now for them. I want to make it on something that's like a little bit more robust, that could definitely get like a lot of wear and tear out of, because they're 5 and 3 years old. So maybe I'll do these two, because this is on Sorella's old sock base, which was just 100% merino. I think now she does ones that she has nylon sock as well, but this was when she just had the merino. So I feel like this won't wear as well for the kiddos. I could just make them all Batman socks, but I don't think I want to do that. But this is on plump merino from Molly, which is, it's like high, I think it's just high twist, but it's 75% merino, 25% nylon. I don't know if it's gonna focus, but it has a really, I don't think that's gonna focus. No. It has like a really, really noticeable twist on this. And then I've not used Street Feet from Skein, but it feels very durable. It's 75% BFL, 25% nylon. And I don't know if this is super wash or not. I want it to be super wash, because there's no way we're doing separate laundry for the 5-year-olds and 3-year-olds. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. These are probably gonna be the last ones I do. I'm pretty set on doing these, I think. I need to look on Skein's website and see if this is super wash or not, because I don't want to give them something that's not super wash for littles. That does say gentle machine wash in cold water, air dry flat. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But so that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Hopefully next time I'm not as sick. My plan is to film again in about 2 weeks, which will put me right before Switzerland, or maybe I'll have 2 episodes, one right before Switzerland and one in between. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.